Sports Sound
on BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome to the Falkirk Stadium, where the home side are yet to win in the Premiership and look to put that right against the Rangers side, who at last won in the league at Livingston 7 days ago. Not that that has relieved any pressure on Russell Martin, who needs a big performance as he seeks to try to turn the tide of opinion in his favour among the club's fans. Rangers about to kick us off then in their changed white shirts, blue shorts and white socks. Falkirk in their traditional navy top, white shorts and red socks. And both clubs, as Richard was saying, pre-match need the points for perhaps slightly differing reasons, but both down the wrong end of the table. Just at the moment, Falkirk starting the day in 11th, Rangers just 3 places above them. Nico Raskan then ready to kick us off. And as soon as referee Matthew McDermott gives them the signal, Rangers going from left to right as we look at it from the back of the main stand, and we're underway, and James Tavernier clips it forward early on, and it's headed out immediately for a throw-in over on the far side. But interesting, certainly Russell Martin indicating that it was the same shape as they have generally played, with Derek Cornelius operating as a left back. Tavernier is in a fairly central area at the moment, but nominally playing in his usual right back role, with Giga and Suter in the middle of that defence, just to complete the Rangers team. For those of you who might not have heard it, Jack Butland in goal. In the midfield is Conor Barron, Joe Rodwell and Nico Raskan. Moore, Gassama and Majorski up front for Rangers. The home side, Scott Bain in goal, Adams, Nielsen, Henderson and McCann, Tate, Spencer and Williams, Wilson wide with Miller on the other flank, and McKeever up front for the home side, as Rangers have conceded an early corner here. A slip by Nico Raskan as he tried to steady himself, and the ball's gone behind for an early corner, an early chance here, Richard Forster, for Falkirk to test that Rangers backline. Yeah, and it's exactly the ball I spoke about before the game. Just put the ball in the channel, you get pace, they don't deal with it well at all. Suter gets caught, he doesn't get the first contact, Raskin bails him out and then falls over, and a terrible corner to give away so early in the match, but it comes from that ball into the channel. 90 seconds in, and Falkirk with the first opportunity here, right hand side, right into the arms of Jack Butland at his near post, and a good take by the goalkeeper, and the chance is gone for the Falkirk side for the moment, as Giga back in the starting lineup, having been out of favour for the last few. Rodwell's run that out of play now on this near side as Falkirk try to put Rangers under pressure in these early stages and get this big home crowd right behind them. Rangers given a minimal allocation across to our left, but it's mainly home fans inside the Falkirk Stadium as they look for a first home victory in the top flight since their return. Gassama nods it down to Barron just at the edge of his own penalty area, plays it into Tavernier, who goes forward to Rodwell. Rodwell comes out to the right hand side, he wants Mikey Moore to come short for him, instead he just nudges it to Tavernier, who helps it on for Moore. Moore won't get there ahead of Henderson, who just knocks it out of play down the left hand side, and Rangers will have the throw in midway inside the Falkirk half. Quickly taken through, and Tavernier tries to find Moore. Unfortunately for him, it just comes off the calf, and Falkirk able to pick up possession, but it was a decent thought there from the Rangers skipper to get things moving quickly, Richard. Yeah, you got to get the, like we spoke about it, Falkirk have also got a high line, so test them in behind. You know, Mikey Moore's his biggest threat is driving forward. Mistake there by Suter, whacks the ball straight off Carell Wilson, but Cornelius helps out and wins the free kick as Wilson brings him to the ground. Wilson making his first start for Falkirk as Tavernier lifts that forward, and Mikey Moore could be in behind early on. Back comes Nielsen, Mikey Moore turns inside him, goes for goal, saved, knocked into the back of the net. Offside flag is up though before Gassama can begin to celebrate. It will be checked, of course, by VAR. I suspect that it's Mikey Moore who's been flagged initially. That's certainly what appears to be the case in terms of the referee's positioning for the the free kick. Initial thoughts, Richard, do you think he was offside?
He looked off, but again, it's that run. Team are offering you that space in behind, so put it in there, have willing runners to go in behind. I thought Mikey Moore actually could have done better with the shot. Good save from Scott Bain, and then Gassam was there to tap it in, but he looked offside from here at first viewing, but obviously we won't know until they've checked it.
Yeah, it's always the way that the naked eye can quite easily be fooled. But Jerry Gassama, who's still looking for his first league goal, having scored 5 in Europe, he is the club's top scorer, and tapping in the rebound there, but for the moment it's not going to stand. But Stephen McLean, who is on VAR duty, is just double checking that as to whether we have an early breakthrough here for Russell Martin's side. The Rangers manager just at the edge of his technical area, waiting on that decision. It would do him a world of good if his side could settle their nerves early on here with an early goal. Yeah, offside's confirmed, no goal, and it remains Falkirk 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, but it's a good positive start from them. You know, they tried it once before, right before it, to get in behind. He goes again, he's just offside, but they've given the ball away there ridiculously easily. And Wilson will try and capitalise. In fact, as Williams going through the middle there, knocked out a play over on the far side by Giga. 5 minutes played then, no goals, as Gassama's early strike is chopped off for an offside against Mikey Moore, who, as you were saying pre-match, Rich, has got still got plenty to prove to these Rangers fans to show that he does merit a starting place in this side. Yeah, and you know what, he's still young, Al, as well, so you can't be too harsh on him, but I would rather play a young player from the academy. I have no idea what happened there.
Yeah, I mean, John Suter's given a terrible ball away, and Miller then sends it into the area. Suter redeems himself with a clearing header. Up goes Miller to challenge Tavernier, manages to get it to Spencer. Barron's in the way, he helps it forward to Raskan, who looks like he's playing a more advanced midfield role than perhaps we're used to seeing him. Adams prevents Gassama latching onto the ball, and Adams has done really well, powers through another challenge, and now it's Wilson picking up right hand side, tries to slip that into a dangerous area, and he manages to do so, but Butland dives in it before a Falkirk player can capitalise. 6 minutes in, Falkirk 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, and it comes from good defensive play from Adams in the right back area. He wins an initial tackle, steps through another tackle, which is poor from the Rangers point of view. Then the play really opened up there. I thought he could have went and had a strike. It was very, very easy. The Rangers players seemed to get out the Falkirk players' way instead of actually try to defend against them. They don't look like they're moving very well on this Astro with any direct play towards them.
Mikey Moore tries to chase a Conor Barron ball, but both Henderson and McCann are there before the on loan Spurs youngster, and Falkirk can't have possession at the back through Henderson. Henderson slides that down the left wing, but Miller had already moved in field. The pair exchange a few words there as the ball's out for a throw-in on the halfway line to Rangers. Right hand side, Rothwell, who started the game rather untidily, is lost possession, and here's Tate for Falkirk coming forward on the left hand side, just slips it to his left to Miller. Giga in the way, comes back to Miller, left hand side of the box. Tate once more on the edge of the penalty area. Now Spencer, the captain, to his right to Adams. He'll have to go back the way into the centre circle to Lewis Nielsen, who's back in the starting 11, having missed the defeat at Tynecastle, being on loan from Hearts. Miller just managing to keep it in on the left hand side, clips it into the area. Suter meets it, gets it to the edge of the box. Gassama tries to help it on, falls for Cornelius, who's playing at left back today, the Canadian international. He hoists it forward towards the halfway line. Majowski can't get there though, and Falkirk pick up, and they've started the game pretty brightly, the home side. Miller, left hand side, back into Tate, to the players who were absolutely instrumental in their successful championship season last year. Here's Miller picking up on a good diagonal, left hand side, low ball in. Cornelius is there first, just before Wilson, as he came in from the right hand side, and Falkirk already getting some decent joy coming down this left flank of theirs. Calvin Miller
Yeah, I think they're just missing out on that final pass, that final cross. Calvin Miller's usually got great quality, but to be fair to him, he's tried a variety. He's tried a couple of high ones, a couple of low ones. Rangers have done okay, but they don't look comfortable defending the box.
And that's given away by Cornelius very, very cheaply as he tried to find Gassama, giving Falkirk all sorts of confidence in these early stages. Wilson tries to send it in. It's off Cornelius and behind for a Falkirk corner.
Yeah, it's brilliant sustained pressure from Falkirk. They just look livelier, they look more athletic, they're moving about the pitch better, they've got a better structure, they seem to know what they're doing. I felt with the first corner they've obviously tried to work something, but I always feel with the early corners in a game, I'll just put it in there and make them defend. So hopefully this one, just put it in there. Henderson's brilliant at attacking the ball, McKeever's brilliant at attacking the ball. Go and give them a ball they can go and challenge, because they can put Rangers under real pressure. But Rangers have been so sloppy to start the game. Rothwell, as you mentioned, then Cornelius there leading to that attack.
Corner kick on the right hand side is taken short to Miller. Back now with Williams right hand side. Suter makes a real hash of the clearance and knocks it behind for another corner.
Right, maybe third time lucky Al will get a decent ball into the box. They try to work it there, but the layoff back from Miller is to the wrong foot, so he ends up not being able to swing the ball in first time, and Suter makes a mess of the clearance, but at least he gets it away from his goal.
Miller will now try from the right hand side. He curls it into the 6-yard box. A dangerous looking one. Giga gets first contact and heads it out of the penalty area, where Gassama will just knock it as far as he can up the field, which is not particularly far, and it's picked up by Adams. Wilson tries to help it on, but Rangers managed to get that one clear over the halfway line. But the home side have definitely started this one better. 10 minutes in, no goals in the other games between Celtic and Motherwell, and Aberdeen and Dundee. We'll keep you up to date with any goals that do go in or major incidents in those games as well. As Falkirk again come forward, and it's Tate on the right hand side picking out the run of Adams. Adams cuts it back, Wilson just couldn't finish that one, and Cornelius stays calm to find Mikey Moore. Mikey Moore now coming forward, but he's run into trouble, and Falkirk have it back, and it's Tate advancing up towards the edge of the box. Miller now left hand side, tries to play it beyond Tavernier. It's off the Rangers captain, and the Falkirk fans getting right behind their side as they get another corner, this time near side.
Yeah, fantastic play down the right hand side, ball in behind, good ball across. It's brilliant position from Joe Rothwell. He recognises the danger, he drops in there, he clears the ball. Otherwise Falkirk have got a free shot and goal, but fantastic energy and quality Falkirk are showing, and that comes from Rangers high line. They play a long ball, they get in behind, and they start attack from there.
Spencer then left hand side, right footed into the edge of the 6-yard box. Good header away by Suter. Comes to McCann. McCann gets it back out to Spencer left hand side, about 20 yards from the byline. Back it goes to McCann once more. This time he'll send it into the box, headed away by Giga. Majowski tries to flick it on for Gassama, but again Falkirk first to it, but that's knocked out of play by McCann, and Rangers get a bit of respite here, right hand side. But you know, Russell Martin always talks about wanting to start or play the games with lots of intensity. It's Falkirk who have started by far the more intense of the two sides.
Yeah, Rangers have had no intensity so far. They've been poor in possession, they've been sloppy in possession. They just don't look like they're comfortable with the structure, which is strange because they've played it so often. They're offering up so much space in behind when there's not a great deal of pressure on the ball, as you see here. But I think nothing typifies Rangers more than that throw in. Raskin goes to take it quickly before Tavernier. He throws it ball back the way they're under pressure.
That's given away though by Nielsen. Moore picks up, Raskin early ball on. Majowski now inside the penalty, can get the shot off. Good challenge by Nielsen to make up for the initial error. Tries to play it forward. Cornelius tried to step in, and he's been beaten to it by Wilson. Falkirk coming forward on the counter. Back comes Raskin. He steps across Wilson. Well, that one's not given either. And now Rangers pick up through Gassama. Gassama forward to Majowski. Back with Gassama midway inside the Falkirk half. Left hand side now. Cornelius in an advanced position. Back to Gassama once more. He's helped it on to Rothwell. Now it's Barron. About 20 yards inside Falkirk territory. Tavernier in the central area, plays it short to Suter. Suter out to the left once more for Cornelius. Gassama just makes the run ahead of him, tries to find him, it's held up in the wind, and Gassama now left hand side of the box is trying to free himself to the shackles of Adams. Back to Tavernier. Tavernier goes for goal, and that's not far away from the skipper, who found himself well forward on the left hand side of the box. took the shot on, and Bain threw himself to his right as it flew just wide of the post, and it's Falkirk 0, Rangers 0, 13 minutes played.
Yeah, decent attempt from the captain there. He's allowed to wander into that almost left-hand channel of the pitch. Takes a decent enough touch and gets a decent shot away. Unfortunately for him, it's not on target.
Here come Rangers again. Raskin picks up as Cornelius goes down, having played the pass, but Rangers still in possession, so allowed to continue. Barron now looks to try and feed Raskin. Well, Raskin tried the little drag back on the edge of the box, and the referee has deemed that he was taken out there by the Falkirk player. I'm not sure how much contact was actually involved in that, but Rangers now have a free kick about 22 yards maybe from goal, very central, just very slightly left the centre. This is very much James Tavernier territory.
Yeah, he'll fancy it there. It's a perfect side for him after having that decent strike a minute ago, just whistled past the post. You know, we can't see from here if there's any contact. All the referees in a much better position than us. There must have been. There was certainly no contact on the ball from either Raskin or the Falkirk player, so big chance for Rangers. And this is an opportunity to settle the nerves down, because they've not looked good, they've not looked comfortable thus far. Falkirk have been by far and away the better team, but they've given away an opportunity for Rangers now.
It's just a better last 2 or 3 minutes, Rangers, to be fair. And they will have the opportunity here. Derek Cornelius, who scored an absolute cracker for Canada against Wales recently from just a little bit further out than this, he is also an option. Surely Tavernier will pull rank, though, having scored at Livingston, but he's not scored here. That's a yard or so over the top of the crossbar from the free kick from the Rangers captain, and it remains after a quarter of an hour at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 0, Rangers 0.
Yeah, just went too high there. He couldn't get it down quick enough. Fantastic opportunity to be expecting him to hit the target. It's so easy for Falkirk to play out there. The 2 passes and they're beyond the Rangers midfield.
Poor touch from Rothwell, gets lucky against Williams, but Tate picks up, and now it's Spencer, the Falkirk captain, out to his right hand side. It's Carell Wilson cuts inside Cornelius. Now it's McKeever, saved by Butland. Wilson again, just wide. Big chance for Falkirk.
He's got to shoot Wilson, no?
Well, he was unselfish and tried to play it to McKeever, who was denied by Butland. It came back to Wilson, and he dragged his left foot shot just wide of the far post, and somehow it's still Falkirk 0, Rangers 0.
I tell you what, he does so. I mean, they pick the ball up off the loose Rothwell touch. They picked up the second ball. They play it wide. Wilson does brilliantly well. He cuts inside. He does it that well that he cuts inside and gets it back onto his right foot. And I'm just thinking, just go and hit it. He sees a pass. Fair enough, he's playing it to the striker. Decent attempt away, but you can get no power on it, Ross McKeever. And a good save from Butland, and then you've got to hit the target on that follow-up shot. But another massive warning for Rangers. Another big save from Jack Butland.
Yeah, he's had to make plenty of those already this season, and still the team are struggling to get results. But for him, they would have had even fewer as Moore tries to stab that through for Tavernier. It's cut out though, and McKeever inside his own half tries to play it forward for Wilson on the right flank. It's cut out by Cornelius, and Gassama goes back to Suter just inside his own half square for Giga. Now it's Tavernier, 10 yards inside his own half. Little wall pass with Barron, and then he plays it out to John Suter, left hand side, bringing it up towards the halfway line. Into Barron it goes. Barron back to Giga. Giga steps up towards the centre circle and then plays it into the feet of Majowski, who stumbles. Was he caught? The referee says so, and gives Rangers the free kick inside the centre circle. 0-0 after 17.
Yeah, it's all very well and good Majowski coming in there to get a touch of the ball, but there's no threat in the Falkirk back line. They just stay where they are. They let him go in there. They swarm round it, and on that occasion they're unlucky to give away the free kick. But Majowski, for me, you want him to receive the ball on the last line. You want him to be threatening to run in behind on the shoulder of the defender. Falkirk, the back two of Falkirk, Nielsen and Henderson, will be absolutely buzzing when Majowski runs into that space, because there's nowhere for him to go.
Falkirk have it, halfway line it's Spencer. Gets it to McCann, who goes back to Liam Henderson, steps away from Majowski. McCann once more left hand side, plays that through, looking for McKeever. It's just overhit, and Butland comes to the edge of his box to take that and then rolls it out to Giga. Giga, as McKeever at his back, plays it short to Tavernier, who turns back the way to his goalkeeper once again. That was quite an incredible statistic that Richard mentioned pre-match, about 23 away games in which Rangers haven't kept a clean sheet. Falkirk get a free kick here for a poor challenge by Barron on Spencer, 10 yards inside. A little bit more if Dylan Tate gets his way in terms of where to take the free kick. Taken by Spencer. Miller just tries to lose Mikey Moore. He does so. Gets the deep cross in. It's beyond Wilson, but Adams will come up in support and collect. And he plays it back to Wilson on the angle of the box. Now Williams sends it in towards McKeever. It's just over him. Tavernier clear as far as Spencer, and then McCann out to the left hand side. Miller can't keep it in play though, and Rangers will have the throw in line with their own penalty area.
I tell you what, Wilson's given Cornelius all sorts of trouble. Even there he bumps a little 1-2 and he goes for the return. That's not a foul. Yeah,
it's gone in Falkirk's favour.
He bumps a little 1-2, and if he actually receives the ball again, he's in behind Cornelius, but he doesn't. But Cornelius doesn't know how to deal with him thus far.
Tate picks up possession just outside the Rangers box. Raskan trying to dispossess him. Tate steps in front of him and goes down, and it'll be a Falkirk free kick, which Raskan's complaining about, but in all honesty he's got very little to complain about.
Yeah, it's a free kick. He gets his body in the way, Tate doesn't. He does really well, and Raskan's too eager to win the ball. And again, we've seen them concede from a position like this in the week. They've got that real high line. There's so much space that Jack Butland has to cover here.
He's taking it short though, Falkirk. Miller to Williams. The referee stopped it. I don't know what for.
Because he never blew his whistle.
To
be fair, I think he was possibly organising something in the park, in the box, so he wasn't ready for it. But Miller was going to get his cross in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Left hand side then, about 10 yards in from the touchline, midway inside the Rangers half. Again, it's Williams and Miller over this one. The left foot of Miller or the right foot of the on loan Man United youngster Ethan Williams. He's got the right hand raised as Falkirk look for the opening goal here. It's going to be Miller though to send it in. Henderson attacking at the back post. He makes a bit of a mess of it, really didn't get any decent connection. Tavernier's managed to get away from Tate on that left hand side, not away from Spencer, who brings him to the ground, and Rangers will have the free kick midway inside their own half left hand side. But that was a half chance for Henderson.
Yeah, it seems like the ball goes through his legs. I think he just goes to try and get a side foot on it and misjudges it and misses the ball. But yeah, I don't know. I'm right in the line there. I thought he might have went a bit too early. I thought he might have been offside anyway. But it's a big chance, because go and put the ball in the net and see if you've timed it well. But again, a lot of space for Falkirk to put the ball in there, because Rangers have got such a high line from that free kick.
Suter plays that long, but it's not got any great quality on it. He's looking for Gassama, but Adams just sees that out of play for a goal kick to Falkirk. We've played 21 minutes now at the Falkirk Stadium, no goals as yet. Certainly chances at either end. Rangers did have the ball in the back of the net after 4 minutes, but there was an offside flag up against Mikey Moore as Scott Bain takes this goal kick, goes long over the halfway line. Up goes Barron wins it. Spencer though returns it into the Rangers half. Giga tries to put it forward, but again Falkirk put Cornelius under pressure. Oh, he's really lucky to get that. I mean, there's minimal contact. He's absolutely looking for that free kick, Cornelius, and the officials have bought it.
I mean, unless he's clipped his heel and we can't see from here, but for me, you can hear me saying no. I can see that Cornelius is just wanting to fall over. Totally. That is exactly what he wants to do. Wilson
you've done
there,
it so many times in your career.
Correct, but Wilson there he's got every right to make slight contact with Cornelius. That's, for me, from this distance, that is not a free kick, and the Rangers are really lucky. But again, it just comes from turning the ball in behind him, and Cornelius in particular today can't really deal with the ball.
It's played long by Butland for Gassama. Oh, listen to this news. Aberdeen have scored a goal in the Premiership.
No way.
Would you believe? They've got a goal up against Dundee. I'll bring you the scorer when I get it.
It'll be an own goal.
I will. They'll take it. They'll take that, absolutely. I have to say they were pretty unfortunate for Park to lose that game so late on last weekend. But they'll be hoping they can build on that goal.
They also had the big chance, didn't they, right before they conceded?
Oh, massive, yeah. But 0-0 here then, 0-0 at Celtic Park as well, as Mikey Moore plays a hopeful ball in field, gets lucky that Barron's able to make something of it, but again Rangers can't string too many passes together. Carlson was the goal scorer. He opened the scoring at Pittodrie from the penalty spot on Thursday, and he's done so again from 12 yards this evening. So first Aberdeen goal in the league this season, quite incredible. But Jimmy Tillene will be hoping they can go and secure the victory, as Raskan takes a terrible touch and it's picked up by Williams. Just wide from the edge of the box, left-footed effort. Butland was sprawling away to his left, and it went wide maybe by a yard or two after the mistake by Raskan in the middle of the park, and Rangers by the skin of their teeth survive.
You know what, Raskan's absolutely raging, and I think he's right. He takes a poor touch, but it's a straight ball from Giga from 15 yards. He's got pressure from behind him. There's a lot of weight on the pass. I don't think it's not soft enough that he can go round the corner first time. And yes, it's a poor touch, but it's a horrible pass to receive there. That's his third foul already, Raskan.
Yeah, and he's been penalised, but nothing more than that. A free kick. 24 played. Falkirk 0, Rangers 0, but it's Falkirk coming forward again. Adams pulls it back. Dylan Tate arriving late, can't get the shot away. In comes Williams, that's blocked as well. Comes to McCann outside the penalty area, and now it's Miller left hand side. Feeds Tate. Tate with the head up, and blocked by Giga as he tried to squeeze it in at the near post.
I don't think that's ever on now. I think he just kind of gets caught in two minds. But again, it's Rangers, the way they're defending the wide areas is so poor. The wide midfield players, the wingers, are just going in the pitch narrow, and it's giving the fullbacks too much to do to get out to the wide players. So the cross is always going to come in, and Falkirk are going to get one of these right sooner or later.
Miller plays it short to Williams, left hand side, sends it into the box. Now Henderson with the effort blocked, then it comes to Tate, that's also blocked by Giga, high up in the air from the defender. Spencer heads it back the way to McCann. McCann about 20 yards inside the Rangers half. Williams helps it on with a nice flick, left hand side it's Miller, low ball in, Giga's there to slide in and block it, and Gassama knocks it back to Raskan deep in his own territory, plays it forward for Majowski goes to ground, and the referee says no free kick. It's a throw into Falkirk, and again the home side continuing to have the better of proceedings, but no goals to show for it as yet. 25 minutes in, Adams picks up right hand side, midway inside the Rangers half. Spencer back to Adams. Wilson trying to hold his line. Was he caught there by Cornelius? The referee says it was just a simple case of running across him, and
so that coming together is not a free kick, but the coming together at the edge of the other box was a free kick,
seemingly.
Okay,
Rangers get the goal kick taken quickly, and Giga finds Tavernier right hand side. Spencer comes across to try and block the pass, which he does so successfully. Out of play for a throw, and again you kind of alluded to earlier, Rangers just look disjointed. There's no patterns of play. It's not obvious how they are trying to build attacks.
No, because there is no structure. It's different every time they go forward. But I think the movement in front of from the midfield in the front is different as well.
Spencer invited to shoot. Out comes Cornelius to block, and Mikey Moore's pinched it from Tate. Then he nutmegs Henderson. That's nice play. Back goes McCann to halt his progress. Did he get a little tug in the jersey? No. Referee had a look at that and lets Falkirk continue back in possession. Giga wraps the boot around Williams there to win possession back for Rangers. Then he plays it back to Suter. Suter just helps that forward into an area for Raskan to chase. Henderson should get there ahead of him, and he does, and he knocks it out of play for a Rangers throw-in midway inside the Falkirk half down the right hand side. 27 played, no goals, but Celtic have scored against Motherwell, so it's 1-0 there, 1-0 at Pittodrie, 0-0 here.
See there, and I know he's kept the ball, but Giga does really, really well. He turns, he faces the play, then he passes it back the way. Rangers pass the ball back the way far too often.
There's Gassama giving chase down the left hand side. Adams with him. Gassama looking to hold him off. He's done well initially, the French winger, right on the touchline there. But Spencer's back there helping out Adams, and he manages to win possession. Plays it up towards McKeever. Suter there first. Barron then for Cornelius left hand side. Manages to get away from Spencer. Slips it forward for Gassama. Gassama almost at the byline now. Left hand side. Looking to try and lose Nielsen. Nielsen just shrugs him aside and steps away. Ian Acho with a penalty has put Celtic in front, so penalties at both Celtic Park and Pittodrie to put the home side in either game ahead.
I tell you what, it's brilliant defending there from Nielsen. Initially, when Cornelius breaks the press, he sees the space. He moves over into the space to make sure he can go and deal with Gassama, which he does, and then he tracks him. He fights him. He doesn't panic. He doesn't dive in, and then he just throws him out the way like he's an empty tracksuit.
It's a good one. Not heard that one before.
No.
Here's Tavernier on the halfway line. I'll definitely add that one to my repertoire. Giga and Suter exchange passes just inside the Rangers half. Now Giga can't get the ball beyond Miller, and Falkirk can try and break here. Miller just pokes it out to the left hand side. McKeever will keep that in. Back though comes Mikey Moore to dispossess him just outside his own penalty area now. Barron into the box for Suter, who plays it to his right for Giga. Giga into Tavernier and back to Suter once more. Almost half an hour played, just 50 seconds or so short of that. No goals, but Falkirk, you could make a strong case for being the better side here, but Rangers have picked up a decent bit of space here as Rothwell now drives them forward. He's got options left and right. He goes right to Moore. Moore early ball in's not a good one. Takes a little nick off McCann, I think, and allows Henderson to tidy up quite comfortably. And now Falkirk will come forward again. Tate can't get there though ahead of Barron, who slides in, and it will be picked up though by Williams in the middle of the park, just inside the Falkirk half. Just slips it back to Spencer as captain. Out to the right hand side it goes to Keelan Adams, who must be pinching himself at the rise he's had in the Scottish football ranks, making the move from Cumbernauld Colts to Falkirk, coming up with them in the Championship, and now up against Rangers in the top flight, and more than holding his own, you would have to say.
Yeah, I think he's been really, really good. He's done everything he's needed to do defensively. Offensively, he's got forward. He's put quality balls into the box. I'll tell you what though, he did not want that ball there, that big high floaty one with Cornelius charging over. He looked a bit wounded when he got up, but no, he's had a decent start to the game, and I think Falkirk have been by far and away the better side in this game.
Cornelius wins the header, but McKeever picks up the second ball, and now it's Wilson feeding a dangerous looking ball in, but Butland is able to come off his line and grab that before Miller can make any inroads. And it's still 0-0.
I think Miller has to go earlier, doesn't he, and try and get in front of Tavernier, and then it makes it a problem for Butland. But I think Rangers were actually all in control there.
Here's Barron, right hand side, still inside his own half. He looks up and sees Majowski making a run, but doesn't play the pass. Instead he rolls it down the line for Moore, who's well challenged by McCann. The referee
but even there now, sorry, I don't know what you stopped the game for. Barron does really well in turn, gets on the half turn. He takes 7 touches before he releases the ball, and it just allows Falkirk to get back into their shape. It allows McCann to get tight on Moore, and the ball's out for a throw in instead of a promising attack, because they've actually they're breaking through Falkirk's midfield.
The referee was just checking, I think, whether there was any blood on John Suter's face, and he's satisfied there isn't. Play resumes and Falkirk win possession back. Spencer for Nielsen, closed down by Gassama. He's given possession away. Gassama now edge of the penalty area. Falkirk getting bodies back, but he's still in possession. Rolls it to Moore. Moore tries to take the shot on. It might come for Majowski. Lets it bounce a couple of times, then hoists it towards the back post. Up goes Bain, and he's able to clutch that one. Gassama collides with the goalkeeper, and he stayed down as Gassama inside the 6-yard box. Certainly Bain did nothing wrong. But again, half an opening there for Rangers. They couldn't make anything of it, and still 0-0.
Yeah, it's I think Nielsen possibly thinks he's got more time than he does. He's just so lacklustre, and I think that's the only opportunity Rangers have really had, is when Falkirk have been relatively slack in the ball, which hasn't happened often. But you know, Henderson bails him out with a decent block, and then Scott Bain has a decent catch. How on earth you run into Scott Bain and come off second best? But yeah, it's you know, Falkirk have done so well in the game, and in my opinion, and been so on top. It's little moments like that that need to be careful of, because that can give Rangers an end to the game that I don't think at this moment in time they've deserved at all. Falkirk deserve to be ahead in this game, and if not for probably poor choices, a decent save from Butland, and poor finishing, and otherwise they probably would be ahead.
Russell Martin post-match on Thursday was talking about how the only times they were actually opened up by Sturm Graz was from set pieces. I didn't see all that game. I was doing the Celtic game prior to that, and so I didn't catch all the Rangers game. But I mean, looking at the evidence today, from open play, Falkirk are able to carve Rangers open almost at will.
Yeah, and even from goal kicks, they pass the ball to Henderson, who rolls it to McCann, and one of the Falkirk midfielders just drifts into the wide area. Barron stays central, and they get out within 2 passes, and they're beyond the Rangers midfield. They're trying to form that box, Rangers, but it's not really working. They're too spread out. They're not compact enough, and it's been too easy for Falkirk. What they've also done really well, Al, is they've picked up a lot of second balls, and Rangers have been a bit slow in midfield.
Spencer's overrun that. Barron wins a 50-50 with him. Majowski trying to get up and support. It's rolled into his path. He doesn't take the shot on, though. He was being tracked there by Dylan Tate. I still thought Majowski could have taken that shot on, but in the end he's just failed to even win inside a corner. It's come off him last, and Falkirk survive as Aberdeen, incredibly, not only have they added a second, they've added a third as well. Aushish got the second, yet to find out who got the third, but what a turnaround. Their fortunes, Gyamfi it is, who's got the third goal before half time, and it's unravelling for Stephen Presley's side as Jimmy Tilleen's Aberdeen at last find their shooting boots and look set for their first 3 points of the season. This one is a lot closer to call, that's for sure, with 10 minutes left of this first period. It's Falkirk 0, Rangers 0, and the promoted side, the champions last season of the second tier, are making Rangers toil here, but it's Raskan coming forward on the right hand side, looks to get the better of Henderson. Henderson comes back at the Belgian and just blocks the attempted cross and out for a throw-in.
He's got a cross at first time. Majowski makes a brilliant movement. He goes in behind Nielsen, then comes in front of him. Just swing it in there. All you need to do is hit the space, and he takes the touch and it breaks down. But I think you're right, Al, with what you said about Majowski not shooting. He had the opportunity on the clip ball before it. He could have hit it on the volley, and I think the Majowski at Aberdeen probably does hit that, but he's obviously not at full confidence at the moment.
Yeah, it looks that way. Tavernier's got a potential long throw in here from the right hand side, pretty much in line with the penalty area on that right flank. It's met by a Falkirk head, and behind for another throw in down right next to the corner flag this time, and Tavernier will again line up this long throw, and it comes into the Falkirk penalty area. It's Raskan who gets his head to it, as he so often does, but he can't hit the target on that occasion, well wide with the header at the near post. And after 36 minutes almost, it's Falkirk 0, Rangers 0.
Do you not think, Al, that it's, how long's Tavernier been at Rangers? 12 years? 13 years, something like that?
Yeah, and then we've only just found out he's got a long throw on him.
It's incredible. And by the way, it is a very long throw. It's not even just into the box, you can get it to the back edge of the six.
Yeah, it's incredible. This is his 11th season, James Tavernier, and I think it only really came to light under Barry Ferguson and co when they went in. I don't recall seeing it being used before that, but it's definitely an effective weapon, and we've seen it being used more and more down south these days. They're making a big thing of the comeback of the long throw-in, and certainly it can cause problems as Tavernier picks up on the right hand side. Mikey Moore battling away there. I think he's one inside the throw-in. Falkirk and Dylan Tate trying to steal that one, but the referee says no, it's a Rangers throw-in 10 yards inside the Falkirk half into Raskan. It goes and back to Tavernier, comes back the way to Giga, who in turn rolls it back to the edge of the penalty area for Butland, and then back to Giga, and then back with Butland once more inside his box. Clipped out to the left hand side this time for Cornelius. He's challenged by Spencer, and in the referee's view fouled by Spencer.
But it's too slow, isn't it, Al? You played 3-4 passes between Giga and Butland there. Tavernier's annoyed at Giga because he doesn't play it to him in midfield, and then everything's back the way, and Falkirk don't really need to move as a defence. They can just stay where they are, and Rangers are unable to really hurt them. They can go side to side, but they never really go through. Again there, he's got no real pass. He could probably play Majowski's feet. It's not a long pass, but he chooses to go safe. And like I say, Falkirk, if you see them here, they're just edging till such times as they can get high enough up the pitch to go and put them under pressure.
Yeah, Suter out to the left hand side now for Cornelius, left hand side, and on the halfway line gets it back from Gassama, back in field to Barron to the right to Tavernier helps it on to Mikey Moore coming in off that flank, back with Tavernier once more, but 10 yards inside the Falkirk half. Barron once more picks up, tries to spin away from Williams, back it goes to Giga into Rothwell, back with Giga pressed now by Spencer. I suspect when Giga gets possession of the ball in that kind of area, that might be the trigger for the Falkirk press as Raskin goes down and he's fouled by Liam Henderson. Rangers free kick. Tavernier tries to take it quickly, looking for Mikey Moore out to the right hand side. Offside flag goes up against Mikey Moore, and I mean, he's not been the worst Rangers player, not that that's saying an awful lot this afternoon, but again Mikey Moore hasn't really done enough either to say he absolutely commands a first team pick. He is only 18 years of age and he's still learning his trade, which is exactly what Spurs want him to do up here. Your point earlier about Finlay Curtis, I mean, he's been overlooked continually pretty much by Russell Martin. He's not in the squad today, and yet he has looked like one of Rangers' better players, certainly in the early stages of the season, as it's picked up by Cornelius just at the edge of his box, but Spencer keeps it alive for Falkirk, and now it's McKeever and Miller left hand side gets the better of Tavernier. Mikey Moore does well on that occasion just outside his own area, and then he's taken to the ground by Spencer, and
that's the second one of them Spencer's had. He's very clever with it.
Well, I thought a little bit fortunate to avoid a card, perhaps just how deep it is in Rangers' own half on that occasion, but it will be a Rangers free kick. We've got just over 5 minutes of the first half to play. No goals here. Motherwell have got an equaliser at Celtic Park. We'll bring you the scorer just shortly, but 1-1 there. 3-0 Aberdeen against Dundee and 0-0 Falkirk Rangers as Cornelius comes forward. Rothwell now on that left channel, tracked by Nielsen. Back to Gassama it goes. Gassama into Cornelius. He's inside the penalty area. It's a good ball. It must be. It is. Rangers in front as Bojan Majowski from inside the 6-yard box puts the finishing touch on an excellent Rangers move. They've been few and far between so far this afternoon, but at last Rangers put a bit of quality together, and Bojan Majowski from close range finishes it off. 41 minutes in, it's Falkirk 0, Rangers 1.
Yeah, and like you say, Al, it's the first time in the game that we've actually had any good play from Rangers at all. It's the first time that they've moved the ball quickly, 1 and 2 touch. Comes from a Rothwell run in between the full-back and the centre-back. Cornelius joining in, takes up a brilliant position in the edge of the box and then fires a great ball across. And Majowski does what he does, you know, what we've seen him do at Aberdeen plenty. He's just that penalty box striker. He gets in at the right moment, he makes the run to the back post and he slides it in. But when Rangers move the ball quickly, that's the one and only time they have. They cut through Falkirk there. Severely against the run of the first half, you have to say, but the first real bit of quality we've seen in an attacking sense from both sides.
It was a really good ball from Cornelius right into that area where defenders find it so difficult to deal with. The keeper can't come and really get it, and in slid Majowski for his first league goal for Rangers, second in all competitions for his new club, as Barron and Tate come together at the edge of the Rangers penalty area. The assistant across there says Gassama was fouled by Tate, and the assistant and the referee have to step in before Gassama takes further exception to Dylan Tate's challenge.
It's incredible, isn't it? The force that Barron goes in and he wins a good tackle, but he goes in with 5-10 times the force that hits Gassama, and he falls over and it's a free kick. And both are right in front of the linesman, and it's so frustrating that you're Falkirk, you've just lost a goal, you're trying to win the ball back and players just fall over.
Incidentally, Stamatopoulos, the man with the equaliser, he got I think pretty sure it was his first goal of the season from the penalty spot late on against Aberdeen last weekend, and he has added to that with the equaliser just before half time at Celtic Park. So 1-1 there, 3-0 Aberdeen against Dundee, and Falkirk 0, Rangers 1, with Bojan Majowski notching just a couple of minutes ago as Rangers get their noses in front. Here's Gassama looking to help add to that here, getting to the byline left hand side, into the penalty area he goes, tries the cut back, Nielsen's in the way, Adams trying to avoid the corner, which he's managed to do. Barron picks up left hand side down near the corner flag. tracked there by Adams. Still it's in play over on the far side. Barron still in possession. He's done well to hold on to that, to be fair. Cornelius now left hand side. He's run it out of play, and it will eventually be a Falkirk throw-in over on the far side, about 15 yards from their own corner flag, and a couple of minutes left in this first period. And Falkirk and John McGlynn will be kicking themselves as to how exactly they're behind in this game.
Yeah, they just haven't had the little bit of quality in that final, with the final cross. You see there, Cornelius was it, that puts in that brilliant ball that you talk about. He puts it into a horrible area to defend against, and Majowski reads where it's going to go and gets on the end of it. Falkirk haven't had that. They've had a lot of balls into the box. They've had a lot of runs into the box. They've picked the wrong option at times. There's been poor quality at times.
Here they come though. Miller beaten to it though by Giga, just held up in the turf as Tavernier takes over and bursts forward for Rangers. Out to the right hand side for Raskan. Raskan cuts in field on the left foot, sends to the back post. Up goes Gassama at the back, but he's fouled Adams there in his desire to win that one, and it will be a Falkirk free kick at the edge of the 6 yard box. But again, Rangers getting a little bit of a lift from that goal, and at the moment heading in at half time with a goal advantage, just under a minute of the first half left, plus any added on time, of which I don't think there'll be all that much. There was a delay for an injury to Gassama, so maybe a couple of minutes to come. And Scott Bain about to take the goal kick, launches it over the halfway line. Cornelius judges that well and nods it forward for Gassama. He tries to help it on, but Adams is next to it. Then Tate goes down under the challenge of Rothwell, and it'll be a Falkirk free kick just inside their own half. Just keeping an eye on the fourth official, who's got the board ready to show exactly how much will be added at the end of this first half. Brad Spencer over the free kick, then clips it forward looking for McKeever, but Tavernier again judges that one well and wins the header and then helps it on, but it's a poor ball forward second time around by Tavernier, and Falkirk have it and will try and create something. 3 minutes added on at the end of this first half actually. Falkirk have it left hand side. McCann taken out of play there by Tavernier. That's got to be a yellow card.
Must be.
Yeah, eventually I thought Matthew McDermott was going to let him off with that, but no, it is a yellow card for the Rangers captain. And that's an absolutely professional foul. He knew he was beaten there on that right flank as he looked forward, and if he had allowed Falkirk player to get round him, and there was big danger for Rangers there, but it still might be from the set piece here, just a yard or two in from the left touchline. Spencer and Miller over this as Falkirk look for a leveller in first half injury time. Gassama is the one-man wall just out from the angle of the penalty area on the left hand side. Let's see what kind of quality either Miller or Spencer can provide. Both certainly capable of it, as McKeever lurks in an offside position, and Rangers again holding a pretty high line. They came unstuck because of that out in Graz. It was a dreadful second goal they lost as Miller steps up and curls it onto the penalty spot. Cornelius gets his head to it, picked up by Adams midway inside the Rangers half. Out on the right hand side now is Wilson. Adams has continued his run into the near post. Suter sticks out the right leg and manages to get his boot to it, and then Rothwell thumps it clear. McCann, a highly ambitious effort from about 35, maybe even more, and it's trickled well wide. No threat to Jack Butland's goal on that occasion. We played almost a couple of minutes of stoppage time here at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 0, Rangers 1.
Yeah, it's not a great ball in. It's behind all the Falkirk players. It's easy enough for Rangers to defend. I think they should go and play short. Rangers only have one in the wall. Falkirk have two over the ball. They've got Mikey Moore who kind of stands behind, but if Williams comes across, they'll create a 3v2, and Rangers, there's nothing they can do about it, and you'll get in down the side all the time. It's possibly something that Falkirk should look at, because they've not had any success with that direct ball in yet.
Adams going back towards his own goal, plays it forward, but Cornelius anticipates that and he'll latch on to the second ball. Good challenge from Adams. Loose ball picked up by Rothwell. He turns it back inside for Barron. Barron comes forward now, tries to find Rothwell again, then Barron takes over, and then Rothwell back the way towards Barron, who's having to battle away there to keep possession. Cornelius wants out to the left hand side, and here he is. Swings a decent ball in again. Is that going to be? No, it's behind for a goal. A corner kick. But just wondered as Nielsen went to make that interception and Bain came out with it, he was going to turn it back towards his own goal, but fortunately for the Falkirk defender, it was wide of the post and behind for a corner. It's a good interception in the end for another dangerous ball from Cornelius.
It's a really good ball in, and you know what, the defender does the right thing. If he's not sure if his goalkeeper's going to get it, he probably doesn't know where Miofsky is. You've got to deal with the danger, and thankfully for him and Falkirk, it didn't go in the back of the net.
Final chance, you would imagine, of the first period. We've gone beyond the 3 minutes as Tavernier from the left hand side curls in the corner. Suter can't get there, and it's picked up by McCann, but he won't have the chance to mount the counter attack here because Matthew McDermott has blown the half time whistle and brings to an end a first period in which Falkirk for long swathes played the better football, looked the more dangerous side, but could not find the opening goal. They had various efforts. McKeever had a shot saved just after the quarter of an hour mark. That was saved, and then Wilson turned the rebound wide. That was after Rangers did have the ball in the net in 4 minutes. That was chopped off for a Mikey Moore offside to deny Jedi Gassama his first league goal. Williams sent an effort just wide from 20 yards as well just before the interval. Cornelius sent a really good ball in from the left hand side at the end of a terrific Rangers move down the left, and there was Bojan Majowski poaching inside the 6 yard box to tap home to make the half-time scoreline. Falkirk 0, Rangers 1.
Every goal,
Brilliant goal, my goodness me!
every game,
It is absolutely bedlam in the away end!
every kick of the ball.
I cannot believe what I'm seeing here!
This is Sports Sound
Sports Sound.
from BBC Radio Scotland. On BBC iPlayer,
I'm going to fight till the death.
19 celebrities are about to enter the Traitor's Castle. But this game doesn't care who you are.
I'm here to win. This is life or death, isn't it?
In here, their glamorous lives count for nothing.
National treasures. Gone.
I want to win, I'm not going to lie, I want to win. It is a game at the end of the day.
The Celebrity Traitors
May the worst person win.
starts Wednesday night on BBC iPlayer.
Well, that's certainly going to be exciting. Maybe not quite as exciting as the Scottish Premiership, which has thrown up plenty once again this afternoon. As things stand, half-times, Falkirk 0, Rangers 1, Celtic 1, Motherwell 1, and Aberdeen 3, Dundee 0 in the SWPL Cup this afternoon. Aberdeen women beat Kilmarnock 3-1, Hibernian 9-0 winners over Motherwell. Partick Thistle beat Livingston 7-0. It was 12-0 for Rangers against St Johnstone. Latest scorelines late on: Gartcairn 1, Queen's Park 2, Spartans 1, Celtic 3, and at half-time it's Hearts 4, Montrose 0. Hamilton against Glasgow City kicks off at 4 o'clock in the English Premier League today. Late on, Aston Villa 2, Burnley 1, Everton 1, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle United 2, Nottingham Forest 0, Wolves 1, Brighton 1. In fact, Everton have scored late. They've just gone 2-1 in front against Crystal Palace. The 4:30 kickoff is Brentford against Manchester City. In the week ahead, well, first and foremost, remember, sports scene highlights tonight at 7:15. Today's 3 matches plus the 3 from yesterday. From Monday onwards, online, you'll be able to see the SPFL Lower League highlights, all the best of the action from the Championship Leagues 1 and 2. And then the big game is on Thursday night, live on Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland, live on Sports Scene on the telly, Scotland against Greece, as Steve Clarke's team continues its World Cup qualifying campaign. They'll be off the ball at 10:30 on Thursday night, and the second part of the double header, of course, on Sunday, so that's next Sunday, a week today. Scotland against Belarus is a 5 o'clock kickoff. So let's wrap up the first 45 minutes of action around the country. We'll start with Stephen Craigan, who is at Pittodrie and probably can't quite believe what he's been witnessing.
Well, I've been trying to keep notes, Richard, and I'm thinking through 3 pages. That tells you how exciting it's been and all the goal-mouth action. I've got to say, Aberdeen's first 45 minutes is the best it's been for a long, long time. Not even the best this season, the best for a long, long time. They've been dominant in the game right from the get-go. They got after Dundee. There was a real sense on the pitch that they fancied it this afternoon. I have to say, Jesper Karlsson has been unplayable at times. He's been given that free roll in behind Kevin Nisbet just to go and find space, to go and try and create a little bit of havoc. But he's got the quality, he's got the awareness, he's got the sharpness. He's been involved in everything good about Aberdeen. I mean, they should have been ahead actually before they got ahead, but it was an 11-minute spell in the first half, from 22 minutes to 33, where they just blew Dundee away and Dundee couldn't cope at all. The first goal came from the penalty spot, actually, after Kevin Nisbet should have scored, Gyamfi should have scored, but it was a penalty kick. It was across the right hand side. It was a headed clearance from a Dundee player. I think it was Luke Graham, and it was controlled on the arm by Cameron Congreve. Don Robertson didn't give it in real time. He had to go and have a look at VAR. It was a recommendation. The minute he had a look at it, he was always going to give a penalty kick. He controlled it with his hand, and up stepped Jesper Karlsson to slam it past John McCracken. He got the first goal on Thursday night against Shakhtar, and he got Aberdeen's first league goal of the season on match day 7. He slammed it past John McCracken. Shortly after, it was 2-0. This time it was Avshish. It was good play again down the left-hand side. Karlsson was at the heart of it. The ball came across the box. Avshish had a shot. Suddenly the ball looked as if it was caught amongst a number of bodies. Avshish was landing the ground, and somehow he just stretched his right foot out, landing the ground, and just toe poked the ball into the left-hand corner past John McCracken. Up to at that stage, it was fully deserved. It was then 3-0. Stuart Armstrong, rolling back the years, made a great run into the left-hand channel. He didn't even lift his head. He just fizzed the ball across goal, and there was Gyamfi, the left back, supposedly standing in the middle of the 6-yard box, just opened up his right foot, and the ball was tapped in off the far post. So Dundee were hanging on. Armstrong had a header. Armstrong had a shot. Karlsson had a shot over the crossbar. So Dundee, I think, are lucky just to be 3 goals behind. They've been too easy to play against, too easy to play through, and I can imagine it will be a buoyant dressing room, because I can tell you it's certainly a buoyant home end here at Pittodrie at half-time. It's Aberdeen 3, Dundee 0.
It's remarkable, isn't it? 561 minutes they went without scoring a goal in the Premiership this season, but those goals from Karlsson, from Avshish, from Gyamfi. Aberdeen 3-0 up at half-time against Dundee, and 3-0 has been the biggest win of any team in the Premiership so far this season. So not only might they win, but they might set a record for the campaign. 3-0 for Aberdeen against Dundee. It is all tied up, 1 apiece. Celtic against Motherwell at Celtic Park. Let's get the half-time thoughts of Pat Bonner and Thomas Duncan.
Yeah, where I think the big question was what Celtic are going to see, the one that's kind of struggled for intensity and struggling for goals relative to what we've seen in recent seasons, or was it going to be a rejuvenated Celtic? And they have had the better of the play, Richard. They've had 7 shots and 5 on target to Motherwell's 2 on target, so they have been the dominant team as you would expect. But you know, Callum Ward, perhaps before the goal, the penalty, only had 1 really good save to make, and that was the one where Motherwell actually created the chance for Celtic by some poor play in their own box, and McGregor had the shot, which Ward did well to save with his legs. And then the breakthrough did come via the penalty spot after Reagan Charles-Cook was penalised for a handball as he rushed out to close down a shot from the edge of the box after a corner. Callum Scott took his time but pointed to the penalty spot, and Kelechi Iheanacho stepped up and sent the goalkeeper the wrong way to give Celtic the leads. Motherwell had, looking forward to seeing how they would stand up against, with their style of playing out from the back against this Celtic side, but Celtic haven't really pressed them, and they've managed to work it into some nice positions without really threatening until the goal, of course. Maswanise with a brilliant cross down the right hand side coming from phase where Tony Rawson gave away the ball, and then Stamatolopoulos with a really good near post run and finish to level things up, and that seemed to set Celtic back a bit. They were a bit sloppy in possession, and so it's finally poised at the break. Celtic won, Motherwell won. Pat Bonner, and Celtic, although they've had the clearer chances, there's not a sense really that the goalkeeper Callum Ward's had to make save after save.
No, he had a couple of saves, but listen, Celtic were the architects of their own downfall, giving the ball away in bad positions. Like Motherwell tried to play it at the back, got to a point where they weren't really hurting Celtic in their own third, and then Celtic started giving the ball away, and that allowed then Motherwell to get back into the game, and they got their goal. And I think Stamatolopoulos, he almost wanted the goal more than anybody else. He slid in, he got it, and it puts Motherwell back into this game. And anything can happen. You can see the frustration from the crowd also at times, and especially when Celtic are in good position and they play the ball backwards. That is not what Celtic fans want. They want to be on the front foot, and that is missing a little bit from some of the players today.
Yeah, Celtic still absolutely looking for that verve, that dynamism that we so often associate with their play. It hasn't happened so far this afternoon. 1-1 they are. We'll get back to the Falkirk Rangers game in just a moment or two. Let's go quickly to Brian McLaughlin, who was on the verge of bringing us some excellent news from the Dunhill Lynx. Brian?
Yeah, we can confirm that now. Robert McIntyre is the winner of the 2025 Dunhill Links Championship on 18 under par. It's a 4-shot lead in the end over his fellow Ryder Cup teammate Tyrrell Hatton. Bob's only blemish in the day was a bogey at the 17th hole, but prior to that, birdies at 1, 4, 5, 7, 10, 13 and 16 had given him an unassailable lead, to be fair, and it's been magnificent golf here from Bob McIntyre. The tournament's still going on at the moment, but none of the players left out on either of the 3 courses, either here at St Andrews, at Kingsbarns or up at Carnoustie, can get anywhere near Bob. So a terrific result for Bob McIntyre, and also, Richard, great result as well for Scott Jamieson today. He's finished on 12 under par, which takes him into a tie for 5th place. Really important for Scott Jamieson, because we're into the final stages of this season, and as things were standing, it looked like Scott was going to be losing his European Tour privileges playing card, but that's catapulted him up 30 spots into 89th position, and only the top 110, I think it is, Richard, that's going to be securing their place. So a massive week, still a few weeks to go, but that now looks as if Scott Jamieson's place in the European Tour is secure for next season. But for Bob McIntyre, he said after last week at the Ryder Cup, the only thing that was missing from this year was a win. Well, he didn't have to wait too long, Richard, and he has it here at the home of golf. Bob McIntyre has won the Dunhill Links Championship.
And that will go a long way, of course, to maintaining his position high up in the the top players in the world. Remarkable for Robert McIntyre, and well done indeed to Scott Jamieson. That I mean, in many ways, that's probably even more important to Scott than the win was to Bob McIntyre. Brilliant, and it's been a tough old week, and I know lots of people going across and watch the golf, and it's been really, really testing conditions for doing that. But well done to everybody who went along, and congratulations to, in particular, Robert McIntyre, who is the Dunhill Links champion for 2025. Right, quickly back to Richard Foster watching on at the Falkirk Stadium. John McGlynn's going to be absolutely distraught, isn't he, that his team are trailing at this stage at half-time?
Yeah, because not only were they the better side, they had relative control in the game. Rangers didn't look like they knew how to hurt them. Mikey Moore's tried to get in behind a couple of times, but he hasn't timed his run very well. He's been offside. Majowski keeps dropping into little pockets to almost create a box in midfield where Joe Rothwell drops down beside Connor Barron as a 2, and then Raskan and Majowski form that box. I think they then look for the penetration from their wide players, but they haven't been getting it. I think there was one instance in the first half where the ball goes in behind to Gassama. Now it's not a great ball, but he just looks at it go over his head and then kind of gives up. And you think, well, you know, just on this pitch in these conditions, just get after the ball and make something happen. Falkirk on the other side have been excellent. They've moved the ball quickly. They've got the ball wide. Rangers go very, very narrow when they're defending their box, so it allows balls to come into their box pretty frequently. By and large, they've either dealt with it well, or Falkirk have picked the wrong option, or couldn't get a finish. Butland's come up with another big save from Ross McKeever, but both down the left and down the right, Falkirk have been very, very good. The 2 in midfield, the deeper ones, have picked up second balls, and they just regenerate the attacks. And Rangers, Al spoke about it, there's no distinct pattern. It's not like they do the same things all the time. The only thing that's consistent is Tavernier will step into that midfield area on the build-up, but they're so slow that Falkirk don't have to move. They've found it for the most part very, very easy to contain Rangers and cope with them. That being said, the goal was one of the times Rangers moved the ball 1 and 2 touch. They've got runners beyond the ball. Cornelius runs beyond the ball, takes up a good position on the edge of the box, puts in a fantastic cross, and Majowski, who's a striker, as you know, Rich, who craves on that service. There was one, I think it was before that, with Raskan, and he's got to put the ball in first time. Majowski makes brilliant movement, makes space in front of the defender, doesn't get the ball. So if you put the ball in the box, Majowski will get on the end of things. But so far, Rangers have, while they're winning, they've not played well, which I suppose in a sense could please Russell Martin, because they're winning the game, and he would still figure that the best is yet to come, because Falkirk should be so aggrieved to not be ahead in this game. And hopefully they come out and they play the second half in the same vein, because I thought they've been very, very good, but that weakness of conceding goals is obviously why they find themselves second bottom. So they're going to need to turn that round today. They're going to need to get themselves in the score sheet, but it's still finely poised, because this game's not over yet.
Well, Rangers know that if they can keep that long-awaited clean sheet away from home, they will take all 3 points from the Falkirk Stadium. But 45 minutes to go there. Remember, 1-1 Celtic against Motherwell. Iheanacho's penalty cancelled out shortly before half-time by Apostolos Stamatolopoulos. And, of course, Aberdeen going crazy. Had to wait 561, or at least they went 561 minutes without scoring, and then 3 in the space of just 11 minutes from Carlson, Aushish and Gyamfi. Aberdeen are 3-0 up against Dundee, and they'll be looking to at least maintain that in the second half and really boost confidence before the international break. Remember, you've got a choice of listening. Whatever happens at Pittodrie, you'll hear about it right here on Sports, and we'll keep you across that. Celtic against Motherwell with Thomas Duncan and Pat Bonner live on BBC Radio Scotland Extra, digital, medium wave and online. Also online and on BBC Sounds and FM. Falkirk against Rangers is the offering with Al Lamont and Richard Foster.
This is Sports Sound
from BBC Radio Scotland.
Welcome back to the Falkirk Stadium as the second half is just about to get off and running, with Falkirk preparing to kick us off again. Just trying to check as to whether there's been any changes. Don't think so to either side. So Falkirk will kick us off here for this second period, looking to get back at least on level terms. But as Richard says, it's very much still in the balance. Absolutely by no means Rangers home and dry. They realised that against Livingston last weekend when they went 1-0 up, and actually played a lot better than they played this afternoon in the first period. And then there was a big drop off in the second half. They can't afford to drop off any further from where they've been in the first half, despite that advantage. And Falkirk will know that if they can get the next goal, then the nerves will set in once more amongst those Rangers players. It's a throw in to Rangers deep in their own half. Cornelius sends it down the left hand side. Falkirk they'll pick up, and then Henderson plays it forward. Williams looking to help it on. Cornelius there once more. Gassama sandwiched between a couple of Falkirk players. Barron does really well to emerge with possession there under significant pressure, and helps out to the right hand side for Raskan. Further to the right now is Moore. Moore has Tavernier in support on that right flank. Back into Moore it comes. Tries to play the cute little ball at the edge of the box, but it doesn't come off, and Falkirk pick up as McCann gets it to Miller deep in his own territory. Forward it goes to McKeever. He's challenged by Tavernier. What's the decision here? Throw into Falkirk. A minute of the second half played, and Falkirk trailing by 1-0. The goal came from Bojan Majowski in 41 minutes, his first league goal for Rangers, as McCann takes this throw in down the left flank for Falkirk. Well won by Giga, who's been solid enough, Richard. Certainly when I've seen him, I've kind of felt like he's got a mistake in him, but he's, to be fair to him, back in the central defence for Rangers, he looked fairly composed and solid, as I say, so far in this game.
Yeah, he's done okay. I think in the early part he struggled with a few of the balls in behind him to deal with it. I think, Suter alongside him struggled as well, so it was possibly the pitch, the conditions, but he looks more unsafe when he's on the ball.
Here's Wilson right hand side, puts a dangerous looking ball in. Tavernier actually makes a really good headed clearance. He judged that one, whether by good fortune or good judgment, he managed to get it away out to the far side, but Falkirk picked up once more, and it's Miller putting a good ball in, but Wilson can't get there, and it's all the way across goal, and it's just going to trickle. Is that even going to go out of play? Just out of play in this near side eventually, for a throw in to Rangers down at their corner flag.
But the difference is they don't have a Majowski getting in the back of it. Wilson's got to burst there as much as he can to throw himself at that, because it's a tap in. It's a fantastic ball across from Miller, and even the ball before that and down the other side, Ross McKeever's at the back post. He must make that run across the front post and allow Calvin Miller to stay at the back post himself. But the two of them are outside the game, and the ball goes to nothing. But again, it just comes from an intensity from Falkirk to go and win the ball back.
Clip towards the edge of the Rangers box. Giga gets it clear up towards Majowski. Does well to nod that down to Raskan about 10 yards inside his own half. pressed by Spencer. He plays it forward on the right hand side. McCann will just turn that back to Henderson, and now Spencer. That's a slightly tricky ball for Nielsen, but he gets it forward, and it's picked up by Suter, who just rolls it back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland. He plays it out to Giga, and square for Suter. Suter clips it out to the right hand side. Good composure from him, out to Tavernier. Tavernier up towards the halfway line now. Turns it back in field to Barron. Barron forward for Raskan. Majowski trying to hold his run. Roddo makes a good run. That's for Majowski at the edge of the box. Better play again from Rangers, but Majowski just showed too much of it to the Falkirk defence, and eventually Falkirk get their lines clear. But again, there is evidence, Richard, let's give credit where it's due. When Rangers do link up in those areas, that some of that one-touch passing, they actually do look quite impressive and dangerous.
Absolutely. When the midfielders get on the ball in the half turn and play forward, you see there, look, there's an option. So Raskan's now had 5-6 touches. He has to go back the way. A minute ago, Barron does that, and he does it in 2 touches, plays Raskan, who makes a great offer for him, and they're in behind the Falkirk midfield. So the opportunities are there, and they've got the ability to do it, but too often they take too many touches because they're looking for that perfect pass. And sometimes it's, just play the ball into your forward players and then go and support the game. You don't need to play 3 or 4 passes in midfield. When they miss that out and they see there you play in the opposite 8 space, they get an opportunity to go and score. Majowski actually is unlucky, it's good defending.
Here's Tavernier, just inside the Falkirk half, leaves it to Raskan, who in turn plays it to Giga, more or less on the centre spot. Now it's back to Raskan, out to the right hand side for Tavernier. Moore makes the move ahead of him. There it's Moore picking up on that right hand side, trying to wriggle away from Henderson. He's done well, he's away from a couple of players, sends it to the back post, doesn't quite reach Gassama first time, but now it will come for him off the head of Adams. But good challenge there by Karel Wilson to dispossess him, and then Williams taken out by Conor Barron, and we're going to get another yellow card here, this time for the Rangers midfielder. Completely misjudged that slide challenge, and it's a booking for Conor Barron. 1-0 Rangers though.
You know what, I really hope he's okay. He looks like he's in a bit of discomfort, but he does so well there, Williams, because he just draws Barron in. He takes the touch and he knows Barron's going to come steaming in. He just flicks it away with his left toe. It's brilliant forward play. Just sucks Barron into a wild tackle, gets himself booked in that deep line number 6 position. He's going to need to be careful now, Barron, because he's the guy in the midfield that you want to make the tackles to try and turn the ball over, so he'll need to be careful. But you really hope that Williams is on the ground. I hope he's okay, because he's been a real danger for Falkirk, as has Wilson on this right hand side.
Yeah, they have been. Was it the way he fell, do you think, that's hurt him more than the actual challenge itself? It's difficult to really judge, but he does look in a good deal of discomfort as he gets some treatment here.
Yeah, it was a pretty hefty challenge. He's moving. Barron came in pretty strongly. It looks like he's okay. He's kind of half back in his feet. It might just be a sore one in terms of a kick, and you can run that off, and then you wake up tomorrow and you can't walk.
Yeah, he's still doing his hunkers, getting a bit of treatment as the referee.
John McGlynn was giving him a bit of treatment there.
He's going to be allowed to stay on the field of play as Barron was booked. Doesn't need to go off, and
I wonder if he's just winded.
Yeah, he certainly is holding his midriff, isn't he? Maybe the ribs. Anyway, we'll stop speculating. He looks like he's going to be okay as Adams prepares to take the free kick from just a couple of yards inside his own half right hand side. Plays it into Spencer, who immediately helps it forward. It's cut out by Barron on that right flank as Tate looked to try and get onto it. 7 minutes gone in this second period. No chances of any note really, as Rangers continue to lead by Bojan Majowski's goal to 0. It's thrown down the right flank for Falkirk. Cornelius plays it forward. Spencer nods it out of play. There's a claim that he was actually fouled as he went up to win that, but it is a throw in to Rangers on their left hand side. Cornelius takes it into Roddo and then gets it back, plays it forward right footed. It's picked up by Adams. Adams steps forward now and plays it to Miller. Miller takes a little stumble. Was he caught? Again, play continues. Falkirk pick up once more. Williams does well to get it out to the right to Spencer. Now Miller takes over in the angle of the box right hand side, looking to create something here for Falkirk. Can't find a teammate with a pass, so Moore steps in. It's a neat layoff from Majowski for Raskan, who just couldn't keep a hold of the ball as he was challenged by McCann, and it breaks back to Falkirk. McCann heads it on once more. Now it's Miller, tries to roll that into the path of McKeever, who couldn't get there, and out of play from Cornelius. 8 minutes gone in the second period. Falkirk nil, Rangers 1.
That starts from brilliant play from Adams. Not only does he win the ball, he steps into play and then he follows his run, and they're so unlucky that I think the sliding tackle comes in and just puts him off because he's nearly right through. But brilliant play from Falkirk down the right hand side. But again, it just comes from energy, Al. Good quality when you're on the ball, but a willingness to run, the willingness to battle hard. And even come out in the second half, Falkirk, they look better than Rangers. Rangers do it in fits and starts, but Falkirk consistently look like they know what they're doing. They've got a lot of energy and they want to play for each other.
Cornelius trying to get rid of it, but he's just giving it straight to Falkirk. Tate infield for Spencer, up to the edge of the penalty area where Suter heads clear and Barron picks up, but Moore's running to a Falkirk player. He might get a second bite at it here from Barron. Was he fouled by Spencer? That's his claim, but the referee doesn't agree, and it's just going to be a throw in to Falkirk, left hand side, quickly taken.
Yeah, he tries to open up there. He doesn't know McCann's tight on him, and then even the second one there, he's just a bit lightweight and he's thrown off the ball a bit too easily.
Here's Adams, right hand side for Falkirk, into the Rangers half he comes, finds the pass there for Williams. He's closed down by Raskan, who's won it, and now Rangers can try and break here. Out to the left hand side now for Gassama, steps away from a slightly rash challenge there from Tate. Then he's brought to the ground by Williams, but Rothwell had picked up, and Rangers continue. Now it's Moore right hand side, but he goes back the way to Giga on the halfway line, into Barron. Mikey Moore's still got plenty of space, and here he is in possession. Tavernier wants it right hand side, instead he tries to clip it up looking for Majowski. Will come down to Gassama just at the edge of the box. He invites Cornelius forward left hand side. He's going to have to take a touch here. He's just played it immediately back to Gassama instead. Gassama inside the penalty area, trying to get away from Tate. Then he takes a tumble under minimal pressure, it would appear, and the referee is given the free kick, saying that Gassama was keeping a hold of the ball. Well, Falkirk tried to take that quickly. It was maybe 5 yards away from probably where the offence was committed, and I think that's why Matthew McDermott has brought it back, because otherwise Calvin Miller had been released brilliantly by Dylan Tate.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fantastic pass out, but he's a good bit. I think you're being generous there with 5 yards. He's a good bit ahead of where it should have been taken. In those situations, does the referee think that Gassama's been fouled? No. So he's thrown himself to the ground.
Yeah.
So it's a booking.
Yeah.
He's tried to con the referee, and we've all done it, and I do it as well. You complain when the referee makes a mistake, but no wonder, because players are continually trying to con them. We see there again, it's a good play there. I think, if you look how open Rangers are.
It's Motherwell are 2-1 up on Celtic. A Stamatolopoulos penalty as Williams and Wilson bring Falkirk forward. Midway inside the Rangers half. Spencer out to McCann left hand side. Falkirk looking the likelier side to score as Miller exchanges passes with Wilson. Then he goes past Giga into the penalty area. Suter comes across to help out his fellow centre back and sweeps it out of play. But again, Falkirk upping the ante here as they search for an equaliser. McCann sweeps it in. It's again Suter who gets his head to it, behind for a Falkirk corner. Falkirk nil, Rangers 1.
I tell you what, it's a fantastic defensive header there, but I think McKeever misses it. Those are the balls that he's usually so good at attacking, but fair play to John Suter, he stuck with him. But again, good play from Miller. 1-2, goes in the box, goes past I can't see who, I think it was Suter he goes past, but good defensive cover. But Falkirk are pushing for this equaliser.
Sure are. It's Miller from the left hand side with the corner kick. The outswinger with the left foot is met at the near post, but comes out to Adams, who takes a big swipe at it, and he's well off target with that effort, the fullback. So we've played 57 minutes now at the Falkirk Stadium. Rangers still leading by a goal to nil. It was a Stamatolopoulos penalty that gave Motherwell their second goal, so they've come from behind to lead at Celtic Park, as we're going to get the first change of the afternoon. In fact, both sides are going to make a change here, and looks like Alfie Aguiman, I think, who's going to be the first to come on for Falkirk. Indeed it is, and he'll replace Carell Wilson, who, as you say, on his first start for Falkirk, he's looked dangerous on that right hand side.
Yeah, he's given Cornelius all sorts of problems early in the game, and even now I think Falkirk's best way to attack is down the outside. You've seen there, Adams is breaking forward with the ball, and Gassama's got no interest in tracking him. So if they stay wide, they will always create that 2v1 against the fullbacks, and then it's all about the quality in the box.
Looks like Antman and Chermiti are getting ready to come on for Rangers, so Aguiman on for Wilson for Falkirk on the right flank, and a couple of changes. Wonder if it'll be, I mean, you wouldn't imagine I'm going to bring Majowski off, are they, at this stage?
You wouldn't have thought so. Scored the goal. Whether he's got a set time that he makes changes and he knows how long he wants players to play, I don't know. But if you're a striker and you've already scored and the game's on a knife edge, you're wanting to stay on the pitch. But if it is Chermiti, the likelihood is it'll be Majowski.
Yeah, they did play. I think they brought Majowski on midweek, didn't they? With Chermiti starting, and played both of them for a period certainly. As Raskan loses his footing inside the Falkirk area, the clearance comes to Cornelius, who goes for goal. But I think the free kick had already been given Falkirk's way for a handball inside the penalty area, and Falkirk do get the free kick. As Cornelius got hold of the shot, didn't he?
Yeah, and I tell you what, it's a decent enough save from Scott Bain, because he gets it wide and away from the goal, so he doesn't know that the free kick's been given, so had to save it. And but again, I don't know. So you're thinking on balance of play. If Ant-Man's coming on, he's coming on for Moore.
Yeah.
But I think Falkirk's way to attack is down the Rangers' left-hand side, because Gassama's he wants to press Nielsen there. He's got no interest in tracking Adams. You look here, Adams is free again. And I think if I was Russell Martin, I'd possibly look at that, because if you look at their position, there's a switch and he's in here. He's actually in. And Henderson doesn't see it, or doesn't think he can kick it that far.
Yeah, it's a massive switch of play. I'm sure Liam Henderson can kick it that far and probably could find Adams, but it is a big pitch here at the Falkirk Stadium, in fairness, and that one's gone straight out of play from Nielsen as Rangers prepare to make these changes. So let's find out exactly who it is going to be. Well, it is Mikey Moore first of all, who's going to be replaced by the Finn Oliver Ant-Man, who will just go out and play on that right flank, and just it is Majowski. Yeah, so after an hour, Majowski, whose goal is the difference between the two sides right now, is replaced by Youssef Chermiti, who's still looking for his first goal, having made that big money move late in the transfer window from Everton up to Rangers. Can he help put his side further into the driving seat with a goal or two here in the closing half hour? Double change from Rangers, one from Falkirk, as Rangers prepare to take a throw in here on the near side. Cornelius gets it back from Roddo. He's immediately put under pressure by Spencer, but Rangers get the free kick for Spencer being slightly over eager in terms of trying to win that. So a free kick about 10 yards or maybe slightly less into the Falkirk half a yard in off the touchline. Suter will take this one. Rangers by no means comfortable yet. They absolutely need a second goal to even think about that state of mind. Chermiti won't catch that ball forward.
Really, really strange that John Suter comes all the way out of position there to take that free kick. For what reason? Ross McKeever's then 1v1 with Giga at the back. If the ball turns over, and let's be honest, that's when Rangers look their most vulnerable. When they turn the ball over, they look so open defensively, and no wonder you're getting a centre half to come and take a free kick in the left back area.
It's a throw into Falkirk out on the far side. Just over an hour played at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk nil, Rangers 1, but the home side still very much in this contest. If they can find an equalising goal. McKeever with a slightly strange looking pass back the way for Adams, but he's done well and he gets it to Aguiman, now running at Cornelius, who just takes him out of play, but play will surely continue with Adams picking up on the loose ball. He gets it back to Aguiman, who's back on his feet, right hand side, decent looking ball in. Miller comes off his shoulder, I think, but it obviously took a nick off a Rangers player as well, and behind for another Falkirk corner.
I think Cornelius is lucky there that the play continues, otherwise he's getting booked for that, because he, again, no interest in trying to stop Aguiman, just try to barge him to the ground.
Yeah, he might even have been booked despite play continuing, but Matthew McDermott letting him away with that one, but certainly a bookable offence as Miller prepares to take this free kick on the left hand side. Again, it's another outswinger from Miller, and it's met by Liam Henderson, but straight into the gloves of Jack Butland. No real power in the header. He was closely marked, to be fair, Liam Henderson, and it remains after almost 18 minutes of this second period, Falkirk nil, Rangers 1.
Yeah, it's not, we see how good he is with his head. Against Hibs, he scores up a brilliant header where he guides it into the corner with power, but unfortunately for him, he just can't get enough on it, and safely into Butland's hands.
It's the first note of a kind of worthy opportunity I've made in this second period. Henderson's header there as Aberdeen go 4-0 up on Dundee, and Jesper Karlsson beginning to live up to the pedigree and the chat about him when he was brought in on loan from Bologna with another goal. That's his second of the afternoon and 3 in 2 games for him. So 4-0 Aberdeen, 2-1 Motherwell lead at Celtic Park, and Rangers still leading by a goal to nil here, but far from secure in that advantage that they hold as Tavernier picks up on the halfway line, just touches it back for Giga, who will go all the way back to his goalkeeper Jack Butland. He immediately plays it out to Suter. Suter comes forward and then plays it out to the left to Cornelius. Cornelius closed down by Aguiman, but gets it forward to Gassama, who tries the little flick on, but it's out off Keelan Adams for a Rangers throw in the halfway line. Rothwell now going back the way under pressure from Aguiman, gets it to Suter. Cornelius down the left and touched out of play by Dylan Tate. Rangers throwing then on the halfway line. Just over 25 minutes left in this contest. You listen to Sports Sound on BBC Radio Scotland as Aguiman wins the ball off Cornelius, and then Barron, who's already on a booking, impedes him.
He's absolutely done him there, Aguiman. Brilliant little shimmy with his left shoulder, and he's away.
Yeah, you would imagine Rossa Martin's got to be thinking about a change there. Conor Barron on a yellow, and probably after that challenge, which was, probably not a yellow card in itself, but once you're on a yellow and you begin to tot them up again, then the warning's only going to come once, as Aguiman has it now right hand side up against Cornelius in an advanced position, gets to the byline. Cornelius can't prevent the cross, it's a deep one and it comes a header wide. I think it was Miller who eventually got his head to it. Both he and McKeever went for it. Tavernier trying to prevent it for Rangers, but either way it ended up just half a yard maybe wide of the far post as Falkirk continue in their search for an equaliser, but it does remain Falkirk 0, Rangers 1.
I tell you what, Cornelius does not enjoy trying to defend against Aguiman, does he? I think he actually left a bit on him in the corner there, but he digs out a fantastic ball, and that's the kind of cross that Ross McKeever thrives on. I think it was him that got it, I'm not entirely sure, but he thrives in that because he gets his steps in, he gets off the ground really, really well, but he's got to guide that on target, he's got to hit the target there, and he scores into an empty net. But great player, get down the right hand side again, but it's all too easy. The ball into Aguiman's feet is far too easy.
Here come Rangers down the right hand side. McCann though deals with that, but Miller couldn't keep it, and Rascan picks up, and now it's Antman for Tavernier, right hand side, gets the ball into the box. Tate gets his head to it, gets it out of the penalty area. Cornelius picks up and plays it out to the left hand side where Gassama will try and keep it in, fails to do so under pressure from Adams. Adams has done well against Gassama this game, you'd have to say. There was a little pull back there by Gassama on Adams as he tried to come forward, a real cheap one to give away. Well, Matthew McDermott's going to make Falkirk take that one again, not for the first time, but this time they'll be less fussy about it because they gave the ball away.
I think Dylan Tate just takes free kicks wherever he wants, from wherever he wants. He's about 15 yards away there. But no, I think Adams at right back has been excellent. I think his confidence in the ball, he steps into the game, he's been combative, he's been good going forward, he's always gives the wide player an option. I think he's been very, very good. Gassam's not really done much in the game, and he's been probably one of the Rangers standouts this season.
Ball played forward by Scott Bain from the free kick. Cornelius has taken a sore one as he went up to try and win the header, and the referee stopped the game, pointing at his head to indicate Cornelius is down with a head knock, obviously, and so the Rangers physios will come on and attend to him. We've played 3/4 of the game, and Rangers have a narrow advantage thanks to Bojan Majowski's late first half goal, a tap in from a Cornelius ball into the 6-yard box. But Falkirk really at both halves have actually looked more likely to get a goal, but have failed to do so, and unless they can somehow find a goal, then they are going to end up with no points yet to win here in the league this season. Rangers looking for back-to-back victories on their travels in the Premiership, and as things stood certainly at half-time, I think they were going to move up to fourth. Celtic have got an equaliser. It's 2-2. Nygren has got that second goal for Celtic, so 2 apiece. Celtic Motherwell, Aberdeen 4, Dundee 0, and Falkirk 0, Rangers 1. Is there much more John McGlynn can do? Is there much more he can ask of his players here, Richard? Is it just a case of that final bit of quality in the final third that they need?
I think it is. I think, you know, you could say you could put on a second. They're making a double change here, but and Brian Graham's coming on, and I would imagine, well, Dylan Tate's going off, I would imagine Ross McKeever stays on and he goes with a front two and just puts Rangers under pressure.
Nah, McKeever's coming off, isn't he?
Is McKeever coming off, is he?
So I think it was number 9 that was held up for Brian Graham there.
I didn't see that. Well,
yeah.
So the problem that Falkirk have got is if they change their system, they might lose a little bit of control, but they've been so good and so dominant, it'd be hard for a manager to go, well, why don't we change? Because they haven't scored and they're getting beat, but it's working what they're doing. They're getting in behind Rangers a lot. They're getting a lot of opportunities in the box. We've seen Brian Graham, we've seen him a couple of weeks back scored his first goal. Brilliant header to that back post. He attacks the ball in the box, and that'll be the plan now from again John McGlynn. Get the ball in the box for Brian Graham to attack it, but they'll get a chance, they'll get a big chance, and it's just whether they can take it or not.
Mohamed Diamondi is going to come on for, it's Joe Rothwell actually. I thought maybe Connor Barron would get the hook, as we mentioned, on a yellow card, and has committed at least one other foul since then. But it's Rothwell who makes way for Diamondi, who had that absolutely needless red card, just a ridiculous tackle against Genk, which put his side in the mire. But he comes off. Cornelius is going to be fine to return just in a moment. Rangers looking for a second goal, which would perhaps, you would think, put the game beyond Falkirk, but as things stand, still just a goal in it. As Chermiti goes for goal, and it's straight at Scott Bain. First effort really from Rangers in this second period, and Chermiti still looking for his first Rangers goal. Couldn't get the better of Scott Bain.
You know, and he does well there. It's just a long ball up. He's fighting with two centre halves, but he's strong, he's aggressive. He brings the ball down and then gets a decent enough shot away. It would have had to be a wonder strike to beat Scott Bain from that distance, but he does really well to get the strike away.
Rascam has been fouled there, but Ant-Man takes over into the penalty area he goes. Can he find a final ball? No, it's Spencer who gets back there and sweeps it clear. It's picked up by Cornelius. Back to Suter on the halfway line, into Barron, and back with Giga. Giga out to the right hand side as Rascan finds Tavernier.
I never understand that with really fast players. You're going at full speed there, Ant-Man, and you do two drags with your foot and then you cut back. Just run forward. You know what I mean? Just run past the guy. He stood still when you're on at full pelt, but you drag the ball, slow everything down.
Here's Diamondi, a lovely ball in foot side for Gassama across the face of goal. It's got to be a better cutback really there. Terrific pass from Diamondi to put him in, and there's a Falkirk player down. I think it's Williams, and again I think it might be a head knock, and the referee has stopped play. Just to confirm, actually it was Henry Cartwright that came on for Dylan Tate at the same time that Brian Graham replaced Ross McKeever up front, the veteran striker.
I wonder how we're talking about Connor Barron. You wonder whether Rothwell coming off was always the plan. You know, managers now seem to have a structure of what to do, and he's going to play this long, and he's going to. You think maybe you might, you know, it might not lead to anything, but if Barron gets booked again and gets sent off, you think common sense tells you to bring off your deep line midfielder who's already been booked. You know, who am I to sit here and say that? I just think I'm with you. It's a real strange situation to bring one of your midfielders off, but not the one who's been booked and who's the one that actually puts in the most tackles in the game.
Yeah, it's definitely a bit of a tightrope that Barron is having to tread as Cornelius tries to keep pace with Aguiman, and then Graham closes down Jack Butlin, but the goalkeeper does manage to knock it out of play on this near side. We've got about 17.5 minutes left of the 90. Falkirk 0, Rangers 1.
He doesn't look comfortable at all, Cornelius, does he? I mean, he gave Aguiman gave him a good few yards there, and he still nearly got him.
Miller can't get round Tavernier, but Cartwright's got the better of Diamondi, and now might open up for a shot from Cartwright! Falkirk equaliser! I think Brian Graham's claiming that. Did it take a deflection off the striker? Was he the man who diverted it beyond Jack Butland? He's the one who's celebrating. Tavernier complaining about something with Matthew McDermott, but Falkirk are level, and it looks to me like it's that man Brian Graham who's made a career of scoring important goals, and he's just got a huge one here. It's Falkirk 1, Rangers 1.
I tell you what, it's a decent strike, but I don't know how it goes in. I don't know if it deflects, but I tell you what, Brian, if it comes anywhere near Big Brian, he'll be claiming it. Don't you worry about that. But nothing less than Falkirk have deserved. They've been absolutely excellent second half. I think Tavernier's complaining about Cartwright giving away. He uses his body. It's not a foul for me. You ask what John McGlynn should do. Bring on Cartwright and Brian Graham. There you go.
Well, Brian Graham, at 37 years of age, has come off the bench, and like you, I'm a little bit mystified as to how exactly it ended up in the back of the net, but the way Brian Graham celebrated, it very much looked like he'd got a touch on it, and on comes Scott Arfield, the former Rangers player, but coming on for his boyhood club back here to try and help them see out at least a draw. But I mean, if you're a Falkirk fan, if you're John McGlynn, you've got to fancy your chances in these last 15 minutes.
Absolutely. Like I said, they've been by far and away the better side. They've not peppered Jack Butland's goal, but they've had way more opportunities in the Rangers box. Rangers had that shot from Chermiti about 5 minutes ago, and it was their first attempt in the second half. Rangers have just limped through the game thus far today, and this is exactly what Falkirk deserve. And by the way, Falkirk deserve to go on and win this because they've been the better side.
Well, let's see what the final quarter of an hour brings. You dread to think the type of reaction that Russell Martin will get if Rangers fail to win this game. There'll certainly be further calls for him to be removed from his post, but they would probably come even if they win. Such as the damage that's been done to his reputation in the eyes of these Rangers fans for the most part. But 1-1 it stands then, with a quarter of an hour to go, as Falkirk have brought on, as I mentioned, Scott Arfield and also Trey Samuel Ogunsuyi. Calvin Miller certainly went off. Is it Williams as well, I think, has made way by the looks of it.
Yeah, Williams.
Yeah, don't see him. So Falkirk 1, Rangers 1. Just under a quarter of an hour left for either side to try and claim all 3 points. For both, they would be most welcome. As Rangers get a free kick just about 10 yards inside the Falkirk half, taken short. Tavernier clips it in towards the back post, looking for Suter, but Henderson beats him to it, and then he'll go and chase the ball and keep it in play and hammer it upfield up towards the halfway line, where Conor Barron will come and collect, and then plays it forward for Diamondi. Diamondi now steps away from Graham, but Rascan can't latch on to the pass, and it's all the way through for Scott Bain, and it remains one apiece.
See, if anything sums up both teams, it's the willingness of Aguiman to sprint 30-40 yards there just to put Barron under pressure, which then means he puts a little bit more on the pass to Diamandi, who then gives the ball away. But that willingness to run without the ball for your team, and by the way, that's a very, very soft free kick on Cornelius. He's got the old collapsible legs on. Stands 6'4", jumps 5'2".
Rangers get the free kick. Tavernier has it now over on the far side. Antman makes a move and then comes back in field and finds Tavernier once more, trying to keep possession. Looked like he was fouled there, but Rascan trying to keep the pressure on. He's done well against Cartwright. Rascan just stands on the ball, but he still has it. Now it's Tavernier at the angle of the box, right hand side, tries to get it in. His old teammate Scott Arfield's in the way, and he helps it forwards, and forward will come Ogunsuyi. Tavernier going back with him, the back heel into McCann, and then turn back to Henderson, who just plays it first time forward. Ogunsuyi will go and chase that. Graham gets the flick on, but Barron's there to turn it out to the right hand side. Good skill from Antman, and then finds the ball infield for Giga plays it square to Suter, still 15 yards inside his own half. Forward on the left-hand side for Cornelius. Yet again, Rangers' failure to keep a clean sheet on their travels has come back to haunt them. Gassama goes down pretty easily, nothing given. Still, though, he manages to get back to his feet, steps away from another challenge where he's absolutely furious. He's taken the law into his own hands in many respects. It should have been a free kick at least the second time around, but Gassama can't decide for himself that it's a free kick.
Exactly right, Al. It's definitely a free kick. Brian Graham catches him, but just got on with the game.
Clip forward by Tavernier up towards Cornelius at the edge of the box. Henderson wins that above Chermiti. Cartwright completes the clearance. Tavernier tries to cut it out, manages to direct it towards Suter, and it's back with Tavernier on the halfway line. Now Giga. Just about 11 and a half minutes left to play. It's clipped forward for Raskan inside the penalty. They can't bring it under control. Chermiti putting pressure on Henderson, and it will be a Rangers corner out on the right hand side. 1-1 it stands in the closing stages here at the Falkirk Stadium.
I tell you what, Henderson does very, very well there, because he gets the initial interception and he doesn't swing at the ball, because if he does and misses it, he'll give away a penalty. But he's very, very composed defending there.
Corner kick then right hand side to be taken by the Rangers captain James Tavernier as Rangers look to get their noses in front once more. Into the near post it comes, it's headed away, and Gassama will come and retrieve it midway inside the Falkirk half. Plays it to Diamondi, goes back the way to Barron at the edge of the centre circle. The ball's on to Antman, but Barron disguises it and then finds Gassama instead. A poor ball from Gassama though, as up goes Brian Graham. He's lost it to Tavernier, and back now with Antman right hand side. Infield it goes to Giga, and now Diamondi needs to be careful. He is the last man at the back, but he plays it to Antman, who's looked pretty lively since coming on. Now it's Tavernier right hand side, clips it into the area, plenty bodies up there. Cornelius can't get it back across goal, but Gassama will come and retrieve it for Rangers. Can't get beyond Ogunsuyi though, who does well to not only win possession but now find Arfield. Brian Graham's holding his run out on the far side. Arfield keeps it near side with Aguiman. Aguiman just checks back and plays it to Adams. Adams steps away from Raskan right hand side, and then he just knocks it out of play looking for Arfield, but slack pass there. 10 to play, Falkirk 1, Rangers 1.
Yeah, we know Big Brian's not quick, but I still fancied him there because he's got so much space. I thought Arfield might have just played it into the space and let Brian go and chase it, because you know yourself, he just wants to run to the goal and get shots away. So I thought that was the wrong opportunity. Even then, Aguiman, I thought he could have been a bit more positive and go and get at Cornelius again, but he comes back the way and the whole thing kind of breaks down in the end.
Gassama tries to feed it back into Raskin at the edge of the box, just evades him, and Nielsen knocks it out of play on this near side, the Rangers left. Barron in a rush to take the throw in. The Rangers players know that a point is simply not good enough for them, but even though they've probably been the poorer side in the afternoon. It's Raskin into the penalty area, challenged by Nielsen at the expense of a corner to Rangers left hand side.
Good defending again. Both Nielsen and Henderson, I think, have been very, very good today. They defended that middle of the box very well. They're both mobile, they're both composed, apart from that one opportunity in the first half from Nielsen. But another corner to defend.
Yep, Tavernier on this left hand side will be the in-swinger. 9 to play, Falkirk 1, Rangers 1. As Asgar and Bayrami, I think it is, preparing to come on. Tavernier sends it in, brilliant defensive header by Nielsen, going back towards his own goal, but managed to divert it in the opposite direction. Diamondi's kept it in on the far side, up against Arfield here, coming in on the angle of the box on the left foot, can't get it beyond the two Falkirk players, but Barron now helps it in. Giga tries to help it on, and Gassama with a massively ambitious effort from 25 yards as he came away from goal on the volley, and it's well over the top, and Rangers will make these two changes. Oscar and Bayrami preparing to come on. Raskan will make way, and the other player who's going to come off is eventually Conor Barron. So 8 minutes left of the 90. It's Falkirk 1, Rangers 1. Richard Forster, is there going to be a winner here at the Falkirk Stadium?
Yes, there is, Al. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but there's going to be a winner.
Alright, I'll take that. Falkirk have the goal kick. Scott Bain to take this one, goes long over the halfway line. Brian Graham flicks it on, looking for the run there of Ogunsuyi. Gigal waiting for his goalkeeper to come out, and he does so. Just takes it off the toes of Ogunsuyi, and Butland then bowls it out over the head of Aguiman and finds Cornelius in this left-hand side on the halfway line. Gassama trying to get away from Adams. He's left him behind and then plays the pass in to Diamondi. Now it's Tavernier on the halfway line. Forward ball looking for Oscar, who owes Rangers a big few minutes here, having really failed to impress in his appearances thus far. The ball from Gassama's not a good one, looking for Antman, and Falkirk get it forward. It is Rangers doing more of the pressing just in the last few minutes, looking for that winning goal. As Diamondi now has it on the halfway line, steps forward away from one Falkirk player, taken down by another, but the ball does go out to Antman right hand side up towards the penalty area. Antman looking to create something here, in for the head of Henderson rather than Chermiti, who was his initial target. Henderson gets it clear as far as Giga now. Tavernier picks up once more. Remember, Rangers struck late against Livingston to win it last weekend. Can they do something similar against the other promoted side? As Antman sends it in on the left foot, it's not a good cross, so he can't get it beyond Cartwright, but Graham's well done the ball, but he's done well to recover, and now Falkirk come forward. They've got a 3-on-3 here actually. Aguiman being joined by Adams. Aguiman's gone for goal. He's not too far away, but if he had just waited another second or two, Adams had made some brilliant ground. He could have been slipped in on the right. Aguiman though going for the spectacular, failing to hit the target. Falkirk 1, Rangers 1.
It's a terrible decision, absolutely terrible. Cornelius is lucky. Lazy just tries to wipe him out at the edge of the box, doesn't manage it, and he breaks away. And that, for me, I think Aguiman's just got to go at John Souttar early. Go at him, make it a 1v1, just knock it in behind him and chase it. He doesn't. He allows Adams to make up some amount of ground, and then he's got to slide him in. Adams makes a brilliant run, and I tell you what, if you were the fullback or I was the fullback, I'd be wanting to fight Aguiman there.
I think you'd be more likely to be the fullback than me.
But I just didn't want to get myself in trouble again. No, but you'd be screaming at him just to play, because you're in on goal, and then you've got the option of shooting or probably a pass across the goal, but just a poor choice in that final moment there.
Just over 5 minutes left. 1-1. Here's Cornelius, left hand side, takes a deflection, and that's going just wide. I thought for a second that was going to loop over Scott Bain and potentially find the top corner, but it is behind for a corner instead to Rangers over on the right hand side. Can either side find the winning goal here? It's 2-2 at Celtic Park between Celtic and Motherwell. 4-0 Aberdeen against Dundee, and 1-1 here at the Falkirk Stadium in a fascinating contest where Falkirk very much have played their part and arguably could be in front, but it's Osgaard at the near post, gets it to Giga. Giga lays it back. It's a poor lay off for Gassama. He couldn't get out from between his feet, and Arfield can come away, but he can't keep possession, and it's out for a throw-in. But the layoff there just had to be that bit more.
Yeah, you've just got to soften it. You just got to leave it in an area and let him step onto it. You can't play it back to him. What Arfield done there, that's what Aguiman should have done against Souttar. Just knock the ball round him and chase after it, because there's no way for me Souttar's catching him.
Souttar angles the ball out to the left hand side. Adams wins it above Cornelius, but it breaks to Bayrami on this left hand side. Steps away from Aguiman, comes in field to Chermiti, gets it back to Bayrami, looking for Antman, but he miscues his pass. Does come to Giga, then Tavernier takes over midway inside the Falkirk half, just lays it off here to Diamondi. Diamondi going back the way when Rangers really need him to come forward. Now it's Osgar on the right hand side in the channel, out to Antman. Antman pokes it forward. Bayrami's on the right hand side. It might come for Rangers, just wouldn't fall for Cornelius in the box. Diamondi's done well to win it back, but then it's played forward by Cartwright, and Graham gets out to this right hand side where Aguiman just keeps it in just inside his own half, but now trying to come forward, pokes it looking for Cartwright, and it's a yellow card there for Diamondi. I think
it's the initial challenge at the edge of the box, Al. I didn't really see much in it. It was no worse than Cornelius's 5 minutes ago. I tell you what, that is incredible defending from Adams at the back post. That is a definite goal, and he just gets in there. Brilliant defending, brilliant anticipation. He's been fantastic.
So Falkirk free kick 10 yards inside the Rangers half, taken by Spencer out to Aguiman, right hand side. Early ball in, Graham's in there. Graham is in there! Oh, Jack Butland's managed to smother it. I thought that was going to sneak under the body of the goalkeeper, but somehow Butland keeps it out. Still Falkirk 1, Rangers 1.
He just doesn't get wide enough, does he? It's on his weak side. He comes back in, he just doesn't start it wide enough from Jack Butland. I think it being so close to him probably almost threw Jack Butland a little bit, and he almost dived past it, but Not a great finish from Big Brian there. He'd expect himself to either get more power or get more direction at that far corner. It's under his feet a little bit, but it's a huge chance for Falkirk.
Sure was. Will they get another one? Will Rangers get a late opportunity to try and clinch all 3 points? Falkirk have got a throw in down in front of us, just in front of Russell Martin. Just a couple of minutes of the 90 left, plus any added on time, of which there'll be a few, no doubt, a few minutes. Falkirk take the throw in, right hand side. Graham tries to knock it down to Arfield, breaks instead for Gassama, who's been hurt as he tried to help it forward. Breaks for Spencer, then Suter heads up towards the halfway line. Chermiti's not been able to get into the game apart from one effort from distance, but he'll go and chase this ball forward from Diamondi. It's won instead by Nielsen. Osgar penalised for going into the back of Spencer, and Falkirk will have a free kick midway inside their own half. 90 seconds left of the 90 minutes. It's Falkirk 1, Rangers 1.
Yeah, and it's got a bit frenetic, isn't it? A bit frantic in the last couple of minutes, but I think that suits Falkirk. I think the high energy, the high intensity, it's just not been there from Rangers. We've seen it, I think, since Falkirk equalised. We've seen them attack a bit quicker, but it's been frantic. There's been no real control about it. They've not really created any opportunities as of yet. Falkirk have had that one opportunity that we spoke about with Brian Graham, and for me, they still look the most likely to go and score.
Falkirk free kicks, a poor one from Nielsen, but Hogan Sui's managed to keep it in on the left hand side after Antman just left it, thinking it was going out of play, I think. Cornelius now picks up, tries to play it forward, comes off Aguiman, and out for a Rangers throw in. The fourth official down beneath us, about to show his board as the 90th minute is almost at an end. Back it goes to Suter just outside his own penalty area, plays it for Butland, and now it's Giga. Rangers really struggled once more to create many meaningful opportunities, but here's Antman right hand side up against McCann. Antman just slides it forward for Tavernier, almost at the byline. Can he get it across goal? Cartwright backtracking, gets the final touch on that. Rangers corner.
It's so simple. Ball out to Tavernier, in the channel, in behind for your winger. Support the play, you win a corner. 2 passes. 6
minutes displayed by the fourth official for either side to find a winner. Rangers with the chance here from the corner kick. Tavernier, outswinger from the right hand side, met by Aguiman, comes to Gassam at the edge of the box. He's quickly charged down there by Ogunsuyi, who will then go and chase that, but Diamondi had a good 10 yards on him there, and he gets it back to Jack Butland. 1-1 then at the Falkirk Stadium. 2-2 Celtic Park between Celtic and Motherwell. 4-0 Aberdeen against Dundee as Rangers pick up through Bayrami, but it's a breakdown of communication there between Bayrami and Gassama. Bayrami tried to drag back Keelan Adams there. It's out for a throw-in to Falkirk.
I'd have said that was a free kick, right enough, but
yep.
To tell you what, Diamandi's not moving well at all. I think he's had a couple of knocks, isn't he? He's always the last man back for Rangers. If I was Falkirk from the corners, for Rangers corner, I'd just put Aguiman on him, because he doesn't look like he's moving too well at all.
Rangers throwing over on the far side, taken by Osgar for Tavernier. Back with the Norwegian Osgar. Pokes it back in field to Diamondi, who leaves it to Tavernier. It wasn't a great pass. It's back with Diamondi, who does find a better pass this time for Bayrami, who opens it up for Cornelius, and now out to the left hand side for Gassama. Rangers looking for a winner here late on. Gassama almost at the byline, takes a nick off Lewis Nielsen. Could have gone anywhere. Fortunately for him, is behind for a corner, and not worse. 1-1.
Yeah, it's a wicked ball in, and Nielsen tries to swing at it, doesn't he? Well, you just need to block that one and try and put it back where it came from, but fortunately for him and for Falkirk, it just goes out for another corner. But see here, Falkirk have got everyone back, and fair enough, but I would just love them to have a player on the edge of the box, especially because Diamandi's struggling.
Well, they don't want to lose it, but Tavernier swings it in. It's won by Suter, but it's not going to trouble Scott Bain, and there's no Rangers player there to get on the second ball. It sounds like Celtic have won it late on. At home to Motherwell. Maida has got the third goal for them, so they will, if that stays the same, move to within a couple of points of the league leaders' hearts, and they will move further clear of their city rivals Rangers, although to be honest that's becoming more and more of an irrelevance the way Rangers season is going. 1-1 then between Falkirk and Rangers here at the Falkirk Stadium, and the home side more than good value for the point as it stands. as Cartwright sweeps it forward on the left-hand side. Tavernier has to go back towards his own goal, plays it back to Butland, takes a touch and then just hacks it forward on the right-hand side. Out of play for a Falkirk throw-in. McCann just ordered back a couple of yards by Matthew McDermott before he can take it. We've got just over 3 minutes of stoppage time remaining here. Falkirk 1, Rangers 1.
Did you think 6 minutes was a bit excessive?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting as many as that, but 3 minutes of those left here as Oscar's given it away to Arfield. That would be a story if he could come up with a winning goal. Rangers hack it clear, but looked like it might have been a handball. That was certainly what the fans were claiming for, but nothing given, and now it's Diamonte bringing Rangers forward. Aberdeen have won 4-0 against Dundee. An emphatic way to end your goal drought and points droughts.
Oh, let him play on.
Yeah, McCann was impeded there, and the referees brought it back as he continued in possession. I'm not sure why Matthew McDermott thought there was no advantage there, unless he thought it would be better for Falkirk if they got the stoppage. Who knows?
I think if you're bringing that back, you've got to book him for it. You just pulled him back. It's brilliant play from McCann, and just let it play.
Falkirk free kick then, about 20 yards inside their own half, left-hand side. Is there to be a winner, as Richard Forster promised it? A couple of minutes for either side to find it. Giga gets it clear on the right-hand side. Antman can't keep it in. It'll be another Falkirk throw-in, left-hand side, midway inside the Rangers half. To be taken by Leon McCann. Cartwright goes and offers himself on that far side. Instead it's thrown into Brian Graham, who I think got the equaliser. Chermiti so clumsy going in the back of Spencer, and Falkirk here have an opportunity. We've got a free kick midway inside the Rangers half, and they can load the box here and try and get themselves a dramatic late winner. Well, if you remember, there was that I think it was the last time maybe the sides met in the league. It was in the Championship when Rangers had gone 2-0 up early doors. Falkirk came back to win 3-2 when Bob McHugh scored 90th minute winner for them. Can they provide similar drama here in the top flight?
Again, Aguiman can just go and play 2v1. Go and play 2v1. Well, 2v none really, because Rangers don't have a wall.
It's Spencer to clip it into the area, into the final minute, as Tavernier just sees it out, and that's a disappointing end to that move. But time running out now for both sides to find a winning goal as Butland prepares to take this goal kick.
Just got to have a look at that setup there, Falkirk. Rangers drop the guy from, there's nobody in the wall, so just go and play 2v1 and get the ball moving early, and you'll get across from a better angle, better position.
Graham goes up and does well.
Oh no.
Or does he?
Oh no.
Rangers have been given the free kick for the challenge, and Giga there. Ryan Graham not happy. But Rangers get a free kick, and oh my goodness, Jack Butland's going up for this free kick. It's one apiece, and Jack Butland's going up to try and score a winner.
But why would you not just get Jack Butland to take it?
That is incredible.
Put Tavernier up there.
Tavernier clips it up to the edge of the box. Suter gets something on it. It's Gassama. Jack Butland's still in the middle. Gassama can't get room for the cross. Scott Arfield works it clear. There's the final whistle as Aguiman prepared to try and get upfield. Well,
that's outrageous, Al.
Well, you could argue it's the 6 minutes of stoppage time are up, but Rangers have failed to win. Falkirk coming from behind. Brian Graham with a crucial touch on the Henry Cartwright to cancel out the opening goal from Bojan Majowski. It finishes at the Falkirk Stadium. Falkirk 1, Rangers 1. Let's join the final few seconds at Celtic.